Hello.
January the 23rd, and it is 2025, and my life, as usual, is going sideways, as you can see. So thanks to everyone that's on there trying to help me get up right. Having computer problems. But we're happy to welcome, how do you pronounce your name? Amita? Miss Lou?
Aminta.
Say it again.
Aminta Lou.
Amintaloo. That's beautiful. Carol, we're glad to have you back. And Alice, you're our secretary, and we're glad to have you back. Uh, it's kind of hard for me to start reading poetry tonight. So we are starting the new year off. We want to encourage everyone to get more involved with the Georgia Poetry Society. We have a lot of things planned for you this year. And oh, there is Eve. Eve, it's so good to see you. I see you've got a new edition since I saw you last.
I do. This is Deborah.
Oh, it's so good to see you. So good to see you. Let's see. The first one on tonight was Amita Lou. Is that correct, Amita? You were on first. And so would you like to start reading one of your short poems, and we'll do a round robin, and I'm going to have to lay my computer down and be on sideways. I am sorry, friends, but here goes back to sideways. So, Amita, we would very much like to hear your first poem.
All right. This one is called Mornings. Cabin, a stilted log house in Helen. Bedlam, my feet press into the carpet and wander down the steps, avoiding the creaks so that the rest of the world sleeps. Bundling myself up in a cream merino, I sit and take in the twilight, watching the early risers slice through the cold morning air traffic below me. The birds awaken with their chitter, pronouncing the birth of a new day. The fae come out to play. Auburn, Orion, emerald, cardamom. The sun sweeps her palm across the hills, and we are born anew. And that's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to ask everyone, if I can remember to say this too, to say the end when we finish reading.
The end.
We are born anew. I like that.
And I like the part about the birds were announcing the birth of day. And I love the way you read. Emmylou, beautiful voice, beautiful presentation of your poem. Now, do you have a book that is out?
Oh, that's very flattering, but no, I've only just recently become more public with my poetry. I'm very new to calling myself a poet.
Well, I think all three of us will put our hands up that we call you a poet after hearing what you read. So thumbs up to you. You are a poet, and we
Yes.
welcome you to join us. We can't wait to your next reading, but we'll go round robin now. And then I think, let's see, Carol, I think you got on next. Is that correct?
It could be.
One
Yeah.
question for Aminta. Where are you located?
Well, I live in East Lake, just south of Agnes Scott College. I've been living here for about 5 years. And I'm originally from New York City. I grew up in Bushwick and then moved to Flushing in the early 2000s.
Oh,
But now I'm an Atlantan. Yes.
yes. Down with the snow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Carol, I apologize for interrupting, but it's something about knowing the geographical area of the
Absolutely.
poet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Okay.
This is my first time, and to attend the reading, and so I'm not sure if we're supposed to make them really short because I have an ABCDarian poem. I was planning to come the night that we were doing those, and I
Okay.
had another conflict with another writing group up here. I'm up in Hiawassee in
Oh,
North Georgia, and we spill over between North Carolina. So in addition to being a member of Georgia Poetry Society, I'm a member of North Carolina Writers Network. So so we have lots of activities up here, and I had one that night I couldn't miss. But
okay.
this was a poem. It's called Xanadu, and it's a few acres share the seasons of our lives, beckoning us through the meadow to the water and woods. Crows hear my call, inviting them to fly in for peanuts. Daffodils blow trumpets in the wind. Dahlias blaze in summer. Every shade of cosmos shares our rock garden with marigolds. Frogs lay eggs, and pollywogs silently await their legs and voices. Growth is slow but certain. Ferns gather along the banks of Hooper Branch, where our wooden swing entices us to rest. In ditches, goldenrod, mountain mint, and asters thrive. Jewelweed blooms beside poison ivy to protect us from misery. Katydids hop around with intention to avoid spider webs. Lady slippers rise in the same spot every spring. Morning glories twirl their vines on the porch trellis. New 4 o'clocks, vivid pink and red, return as volunteers. Orange butterfly weed welcomes the arrival of monarchs. Pipsissewa flourishes on the forest floor, their flowers like queenly crowns holding court together among cast-off leaves. Red and yellow roses attract hummingbirds and honeybees. Sunflower faces tip upward toward the rays of their namesake. The black ribbon of a rat snake glides across freshly mown grass. Under the porch, an opossum takes up residence. Violets and trillium, purple and white, pop up in unexpected places. Wild oxeye daisies appear together in our meadow. Xanadu gifts us with golden sunsets and ancient mountains. Year after year, nature reminds us of the perpetual cycle of life. Zinnias touched by wings of pollinators nod in agreement.
I'm losing. There were so many descriptive things that I could see that snake in the grass. I could
Yes.
pick up on so many of the sounds and the introduction of things that you were leading into. Very, very descriptive. How long
I
have
like,
you been writing, Carol? How long have you been writing?
Well, I was writing poetry when I was very young, teenager. Uh, but you know what? I became a poet when we moved up here. We retired up here full time in 2016. And that's when I really began to get serious about poetry. I've published some fiction works, young adult novels and children's books. But to get into the poetry full time was around 2016.
Have you published a book yet?
poetry book.
Have you
Oh,
put,
yes.
Can you
Yes.
hold it up for us to see?
Yes, it's called Facing Toward the East. It was
Oh,
published in
Nice.
June of last year, 2024. I am 75 years old, and this is my first book of poetry.
ah,
Darling, let me
nice.
share this with you, okay? We would like for your book to be put in the Georgia Poetry Society's library.
Oh, thank you.
You could call me, I'll give you, I'll give everybody, well, no, I don't want to give it on the air. My number, and you can call me and I'll tell you how you can get it in there, and then people can order it through us also. And you are very young, my darling. You said you were how old, 70 what?
75.
That's
Okay, well,
good.
I hope to have my book out this year, but I am 43 twice. So I am 86, so I pretend I'm 43. And the way I'm doing this program sideways, you're going to kind of wonder what orbit I'm in. But I
You're
enjoyed
creative. You're
Yes.
creative.
that. I very much am, and I enjoyed that very, very much. Now, I think we would like to hear from our secretary of the Georgia Poetry Society, and that
Okay.
is Alice Jackson.
Okay, I would like to sort of like give a critique on that poem. It just felt so country. It felt so real. I could just feel the reality of being in North Carolina, in the country with my family where I grew up. Because of the flowers, you had to be a floriculture to know all those flowers, and you depicted them so very well, the morning glories and the 4 o'clocks and the red and yellow roses. Just could just be in the backyard or in the front yard playing, looking out for the snakes. You saw one, that rat snake, like a ribbon. Exactly, a ribbon that you need to run from.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alice.
Well, you're so welcome. I really enjoyed both of them, both of the poems. Both of them were highlighted very well on a different level. Okay, so the I'm going to read a poem called the the Golden Dove Image. I have a published book. We're on our third year. It's called A Dove in the Golden Light. It's 4 star, well, excuse me, 5 stars. Amazon, and she's gone to Panama. She's had book signings in Dominican Republic and up and down the eastern seaboard. So, and Ohio. I've done one in Ohio. Go Buckeyes. Okay. The Golden Dove Image. The dove awakes to shine for peace, understanding, and love. Peace is found within the dove's wings. No one will understand a dove's heart to have empathy for others. The dove realizes God is shining a golden light to glide her path. The dove will move forward in her destiny, knowing she is never alone. The dove follows her faith and will help others to gain theirs. The dove stands alone and watches the hate and lies formed by others. The dove will step back and allow others to think they are above all. The dove will continue to praise God for his light that looks low and reaches high. The dove prays to God to bring her truth and asks for the golden light.
What do you want?
Amen. The end. The end.
Very good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I've read that because I have your book and I enjoy it.
That's on page 3. 3.
Let's see.
It's lovely.
I have a book signing scheduled in Macon. So it will be the weekend of February 7th through the 9th.
Are you having it at Gottwalls?
I don't know about Walls, but it's gonna
Oh.
be at the Coliseum.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
I am there for a conference, and while I'm there, I will be marketing and selling my book.
John Peter Holt.
Are you in Macon, Eva?
No, I'm further north. I'm up in Jonesboro, but I used to live in Warner Robins and then Fort Valley.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Jonesboro's growing.
It is. Yep. It is. Sorry, I didn't realize I had muted myself.
You're fine. Barbara, you're muted, honey. Everyone's muted. Okay, now. There you
Okay.
go.
Eva and I met, do you recall Eva, before this little one came along? Was one of the first times I was on the Georgia Poetry Society. And you and I hung around and got to meet each other after that. And that was about a year and a half ago. But I am very glad to welcome you back, and that I hope you will always, I know you've got your hands full now, but you will try to always be with us. I'm going to mute myself while I'm trying to get my computer fixed up. And I'd like to say hello to Jennifer before I unmute. Jennifer, it's good to see you here tonight.
Hi.
Hello,
How's everybody
Jennifer.
doing? Hello. How y'all
Welcome back,
doing?
Jennifer. Welcome back.
Hi, it's good to be back. I was having some trouble getting on, so it just took me a minute, but I'm here.
Well, we're
Okay.
glad to have you here again. As you can see, I'm having trouble. But Eva, are you ready to read a poem tonight?
Yes, I hadn't set aside any time to really pick out a poem, so I have picked out a poem. I haven't practiced reading it, but I can read it. Okay, so hopefully, well, maybe it's too emotional, but hopefully I won't get too emotional about it. It's really stream of consciousness, so not one of my more polished poems, but it's just a poem which I'm sure you all can relate to just about.
Girl.
I was not expecting to be emotional tonight, but it's a well, poems often bring up things like this, but it's about the death of my grandma. I was just scrolling through a collection of my poetry and I came across this and thought it would be good to read. And okay. So I probably wrote this maybe about a week or so after she had passed away. It could have been a few, but I don't think it was longer than a month after she passed away.
This is your mother or your grandmother?
My grandmother, yes. Yeah. So it was my first family member that I was close to pass away.
Now, do you want to go to someone else and then we'll come back to you? Let's do that, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yes.
Jennifer, are you ready to read your poem now?
Yeah, yes, I am. Well, it's different. It's a short poem. I called it, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's called Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland, catch me if you can. Fill me with your bluster, adorn me with your snow. Wash me with your wind and cleanse me with your cold. But I will be jetting off to palm trees and sandy beaches, tequila drinks and makeshift huts, folks with delicious grins and pretty tans dancing the night away. Winter Wonderland, catch me if you can, catch me if you can.
Nice.
Short.
Winter Wonderland. Are you running from the Wonderland?
Well, yeah, it snowed here in Georgia. It's just,
I know.
surprising. So I'm
So
sure all of you guys got some snow.
did you recently write that one due to the Winter Wonderland?
I just wrote that today.
That's what I asked.
Yeah, after looking out the
Yes.
window yesterday and seeing the snow. And thinking about where I'd rather be.
Mm-hmm. Georgia, I could see it snowing, but in Pensacola, Florida. I was just shocked. Tallahassee.
Oh, wow, that was wild.
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
That was a wonderful winter wonderland. It was nice. Catch me if you can. Right in the middle of January. I love it. That was so, it was
Thank you.
cutesy. Is that such a word? Cutesy. That's very nice. I like that. It gave you that winter feel. I think I got a chill.
Mhm.
Mhm. Barbara, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
I'm trying to juggle this camera upside down and sideways and not knock it off the table. Uh, this is one that I wrote in October the 24th, 2018. Is her hell imagined? Her
Mm.
thoughts liquid as the rain, as pain covers her like dew. Never imagine agony, the hell she's going through. No way to conceive the thoughts, dark, dangerous ones in her head. She is beginning to understand why some rather be dead. Doesn't know if she's up or down, emotions feel so profound. Her heart's breaking, her head swirling, her world spinning around. Refuses meds that keep her so wide awake can't sleep. Aggravates chronic depression, which causes her to weep. Depression, puny expression for stagnated place bound, dark place of death-like emptiness, a place peace seldom found. Pray someone reading understands how hopeless life can feel when those who have no clue believe her hell's imagined and not real. And this has to do with those who deal with narcissistic personalities that they gaslight you and make you feel like everything is your fault. And what's so sad is that most women don't realize what's being done to them until someone points it out. And men are not the only narcissistic individuals. Women can be also. So that is her hell imagined. Mm.
Mm. Her head is spinning. Depression, peace, hopelessness. Hell is imagined.
Right. It's not imagined. They think it is. They'll tell you, oh, it's all in your head.
It's
They're
all
the
in your
sweetest
head.
and narcissistic people are the most charismatic, the most charming. Uh, you
Mhm.
would ever think that you could be emotionally abused if they have not read about and know about how Jekyll and Hyde a narcissistic personality can be.
It's their form of manipulation. Absolutely right. That was wonderful. Working in mental health, it is the epitome of a depressed woman or man.
I think
Everything
I
you
think the
mentioned.
most damaging thing about that is that, as you said, it's you're told that it's your imagination,
Mm-hmm.
and you're told, and a lot of times you don't get a lot of support from the people, family even around you, because they just it's easy to see someone's abused when you see the bruises and the broken bones,
Absolutely.
but not so much when the abuse is from an individual who's very careful not to leave marks.
And the most important thing, know your reality. Know what your reality is and your perception. No one can take that from you. That's starting the healing process.
Mhm.
Somebody's baby's having a good time.
Yeah, that's my roommate's baby.
Okay.
She's 2.
Precious age. Barbara, you're muted.
I'm sorry. It's hard to work this sideways. Eva, are you ready to read?
Yes.
Okay, we look forward to it.
Thank you. And I chose another one about her passing, but it's shorter.
Okay. That'll be easier for you.
Yes. Okay. This one is called She Walked into Another Room. Death came more soft. I thought she was spitting up. Okay. Death came more softly than I could have imagined, like stepping through a doorway as I finished breakfast. A soul let go of final strings. I hadn't known there were so few left. I even saw the message late. 1 hour had passed on earth. What time is it in heaven? The appointed day of release arrived. And she walked into another room. The end.
That was very beautiful. I can feel your grief. I can see your imagination of her just leaving, but it's a peaceful leaving. It is not a painful leaving. It is like walking into another room. I know it's going to take time for you to heal, but write your feelings out. That is the most encouraging way to help ourselves heal. If you're a scriptural person, to read the scriptures, but then to write down your feelings and your emotions. I think you found that helpful already, haven't you? Because the fact that,
Yeah.
that you can respond still with tears.
Eva, I appreciate your metaphors that you use. It's quite touching, and the realness, the reality of your feelings are present. And I'm sure once you author your book and place that poem and other poems, you're going to touch so many people.
Thank
Because you
you.
touched my heart. You brought back my grandma
Thank
in a
you.
good way. In a good way. Thank you.
I haven't published that poem yet, but I do have two published volumes.
Great.
And I also will have a book signing. It's actually on Saturday this week.
Oh, very good. Now listen, will you do me a favor? Will you send us this information to the Georgia Poetry Society so that we can get this up on our news and everything?
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So Gottwal's Books is a chain. I've met the owner. He's a great guy. He has 3 locations, I believe, one in Macon, which you may have seen on Riverside Drive. It has the books, like the facade that is, oh, you've muted yourself again, Barbara. But there's, if you've seen the place with the book facade on Riverside, or I think that is the place in Macon. And then there's 2 locations. Actually 2 locations in Warner Robins and 1 in Byron, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. So 3 or 4 locations.
Well,
And any author who wants to have a book signing, it's free. They can contact the bookstore and they'll set it up for you. They'll give you a table, which a lot of times you'll have to share a table with another author, but they'll give you 2 hours and they take 10% of sales. So I found out from my mother. She did a book signing.
Could you tell me the name of the?
Yeah, and I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, Gottwald's is right around the corner from me. Right at the end of my street, like almost. Am I muted?
No, nope, we heard you.
Okay. Let's see. I think uh, uh, let me say your name right. Amita Lou? No. How close did I get?
Very, very close. Aminta.
Aminta. Already. Are you ready to read your second poem for the evening?
Yes, yes. This one is called Crabbing at Jones Beach. Torquato Tasso pitted us together, a motley crew of me and you and high spirits and the metal net and early mornings, salty air, don't care, life's not fair. Casting a net with a chicken leg, hoping the meaty ones will bite in their prime. You whine, don't want to touch raw meat. To fasten the bones to the metal cores, a necessary evil. The boyfriends look askance, and so I pull up my sleeves as a woman who knows my way around a butcher's knife, tie that drumstick up like salmonella is no big deal, and together we hoist that net overhead the dock. That memory is such a blur now. I wish I could catch that whisper of joy, hold you in the crook of my shoulder to say ceaselessly, I love you, I miss you, I love you, I miss you, I love you, I'm sorry, but you're gone now and you hate me. The bait is me, and I am sunk down into the turbid waters to be eaten up by crabs, a trap. I am the leopard crab when what you wanted was a blue crab. I am the elation that is muffled with tar and algae. I am the raw, unhoisted seagull perched. I am the gnat. I am the salty breeze, corrosive. I am the sunlight that bears down our youthful faces, and I am the hole in the decrepit wood. I am the thump of our souls as we swirl around that memory over a decade ago. You stopped by with your chosen one, with a birch twig in your hand, peace and mint and jubilation, and I wish I could grab fistfuls of that sanded time, but they whisk away, wet grief into dry tides. I am the villainess, and you already hate me. And we have already said our goodbyes. The end.
Wow. Yes.
What a poem.
Yes. Racing.
Rolling up your
This is in, let me just illuminate the background. This poem is in honor of someone who is the exact same age as me, who is currently undergoing chemotherapy for a rare adult form of leukemia. And as the poem implies, we are not on good terms with each other. But yes, I have nothing but love and complicated feelings for my old friend.
Hmm.
It was very colorful. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. I thought it was quite racy and to the point. I never heard goodbye though. So maybe there's hope for Kendallness.
So she said the bait was me. That is like almost a narcissistic. Would you agree, Carol? State the bait was her, and I am, you're not who you were. You are off the hook. You are not the bait anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Profound reading. Enjoyed very much.
Profound, thought-provoking.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amita Lou, you like that too, didn't you?
And I think so often we think of poetry as something we publish,
Right.
but I think sometimes poetry is just plain therapeutic.
It is. It's being proven
Yeah.
We're using it more often in the mental health field for psychotherapy as a journaling tool.
Mhm.
Yes, it is therapy. It was my therapy.
Yeah, to put it out there. Just put it out there and
Right.
go back, let it get cold, go back, see if you feel that same way.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you can't, it's unfortunate in her circumstance, but you can't take that on.
That's
Everybody
right.
has a choice. So,
You don't have
Thank
to
you for
own it.
listening, everyone.
Thank you for presenting. You don't have to own it. Let go.
mhm.
Barbara, you're on mute.
Just starts doing that itself because I've got my head sideways, but I'm ready for Carol to read if she has a short one to read.
Okay, I do.
Good.
This one, I will, hearing Eva read her poem, this book that I wrote is called Facing Toward the East, and most of the people in here are deceased. And some of them died many years ago. Some are family, some are friends, just, but it's that whole concept that, especially in the South, we bury people with their feet toward the east, rising from the cemetery on Day of Resurrection. So it features some cemeteries where people used to go back and look at the graves and reminisce about who was who and who was who in the community. And so I wrote this poem about my grandmother, and her name was Lizzie. She's gone now. Two bossy relatives went through drawers and closets, filled bags with giveaways, stuffed another one with discards to haul to the trash. Wait, I cannot believe they were going to throw this away. Tattered places in the cotton fabric, frayed edges here and there, her DNA embedded in the strings she tied day after day with arthritic fingers now lying still. Stains, tea, blackberry cobbler, country ham, red-eye gravy, Japanese fruit cake. When she wore that apron, she was cooking something special. Respect. She's gone to glory. Time to save her apron. Rescue it from the shame of a black garbage bag. Treasure. My grandmother's apron is coming home with me.
That's
The
very
end.
interesting.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I know you could,
Mm-hmm.
the things she was cooking, and my grandmother made her apron on a treadle machine. You know those sewing machines that you would work with your feet up and down to sew? And her aprons were made out of the chicken feed sacks that they brought the food home for the animals. They didn't go to the store and buy the fabric. They just made their aprons. And I do have my grandmother's apron, and I hope you have hers.
Do.
That that is very. And I had never heard that expression of burying them with their feet to the east. And I'm
Yeah,
glad,
facing toward the east.
right, that you believe in the resurrection. And that was a very nice poem, and it showed the hope that you have in the resurrection, that you will see her again. And I think the positive thought for Eve, that she will see her grandmother again.
Yes.
That was very beautiful. Okay, Alice, I think you
It was
followed
very
Carol.
beautiful.
Yes, and I thought that was very warm. Just great memories of Grandma and how you felt about her transitioning. Yes, I enjoyed that one. Had a little bit of a little humor to it, added humor. So, and humor can be a form of therapy as well. Choose love. And here again, it's coming out of my book, A Dove in the Golden Light. I'm very proud of the book, as you can see. And I know each of you are proud of your books as well. This one is called Choose Love. Look at that smile on your beautiful face, the gleam in your eyes, the tone of your skin. Beauty expands because of the love you exude inside and out. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. You provide encouragement, care for others for no particular reason. Girl, keep it moving. Love God and others as you love yourself. I am with you always to the very end of age. My endless love. Love is the fruit that continues to keep you strong and free. The golden light, I praise you because I am fiercely and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. You will find that in Psalms 139:14. Now, as a therapist, I'm going to just add this to this poem. Most people have low self-esteem for one reason or the other. But if you start looking at how wonderfully and fearfully you are made, oh, the table turns. Yeah, the second part of my book, A Dove in the Golden Light, it says poetry with inspiration, love, prayers, and wisdom. So, and this is what I gasped through this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Love it.
preparing. I'm preparing for the Today Show.
We love you, Alice. We love you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's
Yeah.
Jennifer's time now. Are you ready again, dear? Jennifer, can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, we're ready
Okay,
for
I was just thinking about the poems. Yeah, I'm ready, but I just wanted to make a comment.
please do.
Fearfully and wonderfully made. That's just one of my favorite verses. So thank you for that, Alice.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And Carol, in your poem, I just wanted to you mentioned red eye gravy. Did I hear that
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You just made me hungry.
I
I was
know.
red eye gravy. And you did you say Japanese fruit cake?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did.
What I have
Mhm.
never had. Okay, what's the difference between a regular fruit cake and a Japanese fruit cake? You just got me curious.
Um,
Ah,
How is it made differently or
oh yeah, I make fruit cakes. This one is it's a layer cake, and usually it's a layer of spice cake, a layer of like just plain white cake, and I think there's another layer to it. But my grandmother would get a grinder and get a fresh coconut and
mm.
get the juice out of it. You hammer a nail in it and pour the juice out of the coconut, and then you would save that aside. She would grind the coconut from inside the shell, and that would be all along on the sides, and you'd pour some of the coconut juice on it to make it moist, and then you'd put, what is it, a 3-minute frosting? It's a white frosting, and you just make it really fast and put it on top. So in between, it has a different kind of frosting, and the coconut makes it sweet, but then you put that white top on it, and then all the coconut is shredded around it.
Beautiful. I can
that sounds
definitely look it
delicious.
up.
It's
It's
very labor intensive, but I think it was a favorite of Jimmy Carter.
Oh,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
Okay.
and
Wow,
Jennifer,
that
I
sounds
think,
awesome.
I'm sorry, I think that scripture, Jennifer, that Alice quoted, I am wonderfully made. Isn't that from Psalms 139?
Yes.
I say that in my prayer every
Yeah.
night, being
Mm-hmm.
I am and how ill I am. I say that to God every night. So
Mm-hmm.
we are now ready for you, Jennifer.
Okay. The name of this poem is called Bonnie, since we were talking about people that passed and meant a lot to us. This was an older woman that I met several years ago, and she's since passed, but she's just had such a big impact on me. I wrote this poem about her. In her last year, she had some illnesses, but anyway, here's the poem. Bonnie. I'm still here. It's another year, and I'm still here. Smiling, I can still walk. I can still talk. The buzzards aren't circling yet. My thoughts still matter. My day isn't done. Though winter beckons, it's still autumn for me, and I will still enjoy the morning rain and the afternoon sun. I will still see the white lilies and the red roses, listen to the bluebird's song and the flapping of the hummingbird's wings. The disease was deadly, but it did not overtake me. The illness was stifling, but it did not win. My time has not come. My day is not done. I smile easily and I welcome conversation. I know whom I love and I avoid the ones I don't. I eat whipped cream and chocolate cake, and I take long walks and I live by the lake. I appreciate my time on this earth. I choose not to just take up space. The children's laughter gives me joy, whether it's a girl or boy. I listen to their stories and give them attention. So if I go to heaven, maybe I'll get a mention that I did something good that only I could. So for now, I will give joy to all I meet and try my best to stay sweet. For sour people age fast, and I want to last and last and last. And when that day comes for me and I walk into eternity, I say bye bye and wave farewell and say so long happily. I'm singing my heavenly song, Bonnie. She had a brain tumor, but she was just the most joyous person. And she even named the tumor. She used to call him, oh, it's Tommy the tumor, before she passed. And she was just always so happy. So
Well,
I miss
Yes.
her.
to name her tumor, Tommy Tumor,
Hi.
reflects the
Yeah.
joy she had in life and how even something so ugly she was going to give an endearing name to and just deal with it like it's another person in her life that she has to deal with that is very unpleasant. And I think that's a
Yeah.
very positive thing to name your troubles to identifying
Yes.
them.
Hmm.
That was
Yeah.
touching, quite touching.
Yes.
Barbara, as I mentioned earlier, it was so nice hearing these beautiful poems tonight. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to have to step away to another meeting, but it was look forward to seeing you all real soon.
Hold up the title of your book one more time, Alice.
I would be more than happy to. It's called A Dove in the Golden Light. And
Enjoy.
it's on, go check it out on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon. Amazon, 5 stars right now, and doing really well.
Very good. Thank you for coming
Good.
on. I know
Thank
you got a
you.
meeting because this is not our regular time that we broadcast. It's usually every third Thursday. Have a good evening and drive safely, Alice. Uh,
Okay. Oh, it's
oh,
on Zoom too, thank God. Thank you. Bye-bye.
bye-bye. One thing with me being sideways and upside down when I first came on, there's one thing I would like to bring to your attention. This is on YouTube, and we usually post it on the site that if you were going to read a poem on our open mic, do not read one that you intend to enter into a contest because they will consider being on YouTube as if you have already published. So if there is one that you have read tonight that you would like for us to uh, not put on YouTube, please post it at the end or send it to me personally. And here's something I would like to say. We still want to put out our 1924 Reach of Song book. We have a journal out. What I would like to do is to incorporate to our 2024-2025 Reach of Song anthology, the poems that you are reading on open mic. Raise your hand if you would like to have your poem in our book. Would you like that? Very
May I ask a question first? Because
Okay.
often they want to know if it's been published or not, and they don't want previously published. So would that be okay? Because both of mine tonight have been published.
Well, then this is only to like you couldn't excuse me, let me get my tongue straightened. You could not enter any of published poems usually into a contest. Is that not right? Amita Lou, have you ever heard that before? Because it's something you need to know as a new poet. Uh,
Mm.
all contests want usually unpublished poems. And so you think, oh, I haven't got a book printed yet. I'm not published. But oh, yes, you are if we've published you on YouTube and you reading your poem. And that would make your poem unacceptable as a contest applicant. Does that make sense? But everybody is okay with that tonight. And you can send your poems that you've read in the past and tonight to me at the president's post for the Georgia Poetry Society, and I will forward those to our new editor, and then you will send them to her. Right now, she's not well, but we would love to have all of the poems that have been read to be in our new anthology. So, okay, now I think Eve is ready for you. Is that baby asleep? Are you able to read now?
Yeah, she's asleep, but that's fine.
Okay. What would you like to share with us now?
Okay. My memory of what I may have read in the past is not good, but I probably didn't read this one before. This poem is about, if I remember correctly, I think this poem is about enjoying multiple people's friendship, like meeting many wonderful people throughout your life.
Good.
Like pools of light filtering through darkness is your spirit in this world. I see parts of heaven falling through like sparkling waterfalls. I'm out here walking. Within this blackness, I'm searching. In every cataract, I find you. But my feet can't stop to stay underneath one skylight. The desire remains to seek. So I walk on and away and find a new place. No, I messed that up. So I walk on and away and find a place to drink.
And I like the way you said that you're enjoying friendship, that the spirit was like a light filtering through darkness. That is a beautiful thought. You worded that beautifully. The light filtering through the darkness. That was beautiful. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Betty, any critiques?
I thought I had a typo, and that's why I messed up the end.
You know, that's what's so great about our open mic. We are not professionals that can get up there and do the spoken word. I think the closest person I've heard tonight is Amita Lou. She has that ability to do a spoken. Don't you laugh at me, girlfriend. I'm telling the truth.
Oh,
I love
wow. Thank you.
and we all build each other up. And Lord, you know how messed up I am tonight just with this whole program. So don't worry stumbling over one little word. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to read something that might make you cry, Eva. It made my girlfriend cry when she had lost someone. And I wrote it because the young man had gotten divorced. And I hated that he did. And I was thinking of him in my prayers, and his mother was not near him. So this is not about death. This is just wishing I could encourage a friend. And it's called Mama's Shoes. I'd like to wear your mama's shoes, slip them on for a while. Be a mama figure that make you ease your pain or make you smile. Her shoes would be hard to fit. She's been so giving, so kind. I just try to shuffle around, take troubles off your mind. Like to be her ears that listen when needed someone to hear. To be her strong arms holding you while hearing every fear. Like to be her lips that whisper scriptures that calm your heart, giving consolation and hope, leaving strength when we'd part. But you know, I can't fill her shoes. No one can take her place. Just know, dear friend, I'm here for you till you can see her face. The end. I forgot to tell us we're not saying the end. And that was my mama's shoes, and I wrote, oops, I don't know when I wrote that. I left the last digit off. Okay. Any comments? Are y'all okay?
That's I can definitely relate to the feeling of wanting to be that person very close to someone and encourage them
Right.
like a mother would.
Right. That's all we all need in our life is someone that we know is there. You all agree that a friend is indispensable in this life. We really, they're wonderful.
I think
Oh,
I think there are people who are friends and relatives, but I think there are people who have your back. And to me, that's so important when you feel that you have someone in your life who has your back. And they
right,
don't just say, I'm your, so many words, you're my friend, but
right,
I'm with you. I'll be helping you, or I'm here for you. And
right. Actions speak louder than words, and your actions can be the words you give them if you can't personally be there. It can be those words to assure them. I think, Amelita, we are back to you. Are you ready for another reading?
Oh,
Unmute, Amelita.
okay. Yes.
Okay, we're ready for
Um, all right. This one is called Cherry Man and Fish Woman.
say it again.
Cherry Man and Fish Woman.
Fairy man and fish woman.
Yes.
Sounds very interesting.
Hawker's Ave on 7. Groves of people's feet. Coal trains wrath with lemon. Grows with smog and heat. Cherry Man come round callin' out, Cherry, cherry. Ferryman come round, granite seeds. Mary, Mary. A berry, red herring, no bearing qualms on this winter afternoon. Seasonless fruit to shoot, slip and slide like the tide, all oil slicks of purgatory. What's the story of Cherry Man and Fish Lady? Gray hair strewn over pallet boxes heaped, anchovies and blue crabs, soft turtles and squid ink, razor clams and eels in squalid territory. Fish Lady, limp eyes cloudy. What's her story? Forgotten sea dragoness cast upon the land. The listless look of helplessness and dejected credits of redacted, hackneyed. Something pungent in the air, and it's that folks don't care about Cherry Man and Fish Lady. What's the story? The end.
Clap, 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 clap. Beautiful. You you make a lot, and you describe like all the different fishes, all the different things. Yeah, what is her story? You made that very interesting, and it was quite a unusual title, and yet you brought out each personality. Very enjoyable. How did y'all feel about it? I just I like her work.
and I
Girl,
want
do
to
you have a book? Oh my goodness, that was so
No, I
good.
don't.
That
I
was
want-
so good. I enjoyed that. Wow, that was
Thank you
awesome.
very much.
And even going back to
I
your first one, I'm still thinking about Jones Beach. My goodness. You are amazing. I'm loving it. When you get your book out, please let me know.
Oh wow, thank you. I feel very in awe of all of you.
Oh,
I It gives me hope and encouragement and inspiration to be surrounded by some people who are either already published or very soon will be published. Um, I just became a member today, so I
You
hope to
really.
see many of you all recurringly. Thank you.
very good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that in your poems, you write a lot about fish and crabs. Is that part of your background? Have you been around that in your life, or ocean life, or seafood, or?
Well, I am a glutton, but I do find a lot of metaphor and connection with water. I just it's my place of peace, and also I I find, a connection with nature. And I mean, Carol, your poem about I still have images in my mind of that snake going through the mowed grass. There's just something very boundless about um, constant inspiration from nature, and you can get so much out of it. You can process so much out of it. Nature is just so profound. Um,
Don't wait until you're 75 to publish your book.
80, going on 87 to publish.
Do it
Hey,
now.
Carol, better late than never, darling.
I know.
And hold on, let me see. Is this going to come up sideways? How is this going to come up? Well, I
It's
don't,
straight up. Looks good.
it's straight up.
well, I can't get it right. It's called Poetic Awakening, Thoughts of an Inspirational Georgia Artist. And the art is I still can't is my art also. I paint. So
That is stunning.
thank you. It'll
Yes,
get
it
there
is.
eventually if I stay well and my editor stays well. We just can't stay well at the same time. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get there. Let's see now. Okay. After Carol, you came after Amita Lou.
Yes.
And thank
Yes.
you for joining, Amita.
Well, thank
At
you.
the
Thank
program,
everybody here.
at the end of the program, we can tell Marion Owens to chop off, but let's give each other our telephone numbers tonight so that we can call each other if we want to. Would y'all like to do that at the end, knowing they will not be published?
Fine. Yeah.
Stop it, okay?
That's
Let's,
fine. We could put it in the chat.
okay. You see, I'm still learning, Eve.
Okay, I mean, we could say it and we could also put it in the chat. So it'll,
Put it in the chat.
well,
Okay, let's try that at the end. I'm still learning, you guys. Okay. Uh, Carol, it's your turn.
Okay, this is another character from my book, and her name was Miss Dorothy.
Miss Dorothy.
Mhm. She had an air of being sad and out of place, like an old tinsel Christmas wreath left hanging on a porch in March. Dressed in layers on a bright Georgia afternoon in summer, when the heat hung like muscadine vines strung across low branches of loblolly pines, even when the snakes were coiled tight under bushes to stay out of the sun. A flowery headscarf tied under her chin, she was always mumbling to herself like she was part of the world, but the world wasn't part of her. Her husband had died some years back, left her all alone in a rambling old house. Somebody said she was a teacher. Other folks said she was a witch. Nobody really knew. Strangeness doesn't make people good or bad. Sometimes it just makes them lonely. I tried talking to her one fall afternoon. She wore a faraway look in her eyes. I figured she was only a lost soul wandering around a red dirt road. Persimmons piled in her basket, smooth golden yellow orbs, sassafras leaves shaped like mittens, turned orange and red, and a blush-colored pomegranate on a bed of white oak acorns. I didn't see her around for days. The sheriff checked on her, but nobody was home. Somebody said she had a son in North Carolina. Somebody else said maybe she just up and disappeared. Mostly, nobody seemed to care.
Oh, that's pathetic. Beautifully written, but so sad.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there are those people in the life in this world right now who feel that nobody cares and that they're alone. And I think you touched on a reality of this period in history where there is less empathy and less love. And of course, that was foretold in the scripture that the love of the greater number would cool off. And I think you represented that cooling off in a very dramatic and powerful way. Thank you very much, Carol. That was
You're
beautiful.
welcome.
Okay. Eve, we're ready for you again, darling.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask Carol a question, and I really liked the description of the fruit, the sassafras, and I wanted to know, like, what inspired that part of the poem.
Well, I was riding down the road with my husband. He was driving, and we passed this little cemetery that's up here near us. And all of a sudden, this line came into my head about the Christmas wreath on the porch and, left out on the porch in March, because I've seen that at houses where it's
Oh, for sure.
people have left these things out and it's over, but they don't, this wreath is just faded and it sort of represents their lives because it's just hanging out there past its time. And then, of course, I grew up on a dirt road in Georgia, and we had persimmon trees in our yard. And I remember seeing those persimmons, and my grandmother had she had a pomegranate bush. They were really big, and so seeing those fruits when I was growing up and breaking them open and pulling out the pieces of the pomegranate, there's something magical about that fruit, and you just don't forget it. And so I was just trying to think, what are some fruits and leaves that you might see that time of year that she might have had in her little basket? And there's nothing really to eat. It's just nature that she's gathered in that basket.
Right. Yeah.
Before you read, I'm sorry, go ahead,
And
Carol.
that's what makes it really sad, is there's nothing, she's just been out looking at nature and taking a little piece of it with her. But it doesn't really benefit her in the sense of nourishment. It's just there.
Even before you read, I picked up on where you talked about the muscadine vines and the pines. My daddy used to make muscadine wine.
So did my grandmother.
Yes, yes. I think I've got the recipe, but who's seen a muscadine? I haven't seen a muscadine in 50 years, So I wouldn't even know what that would taste like now. But you all tonight have been very descriptive. We could like the Japanese fruitcake and the southern gravy and all that stuff you were talking about, Carol. One of the poets said it made her hungry. Me too, because I haven't eaten yet. And we felt Eva's tears. We felt your food. We felt, and we could see all the different fish that Amelie was talking about. We've all been able to get in your minds and hearts as you're reading this. We've got a good group of ladies here tonight. Emily, I'm glad you're new with us, and you're going to have so much fun with us. I'd like for you to reach out and invite more people. We are a very friendly group, as you can see. We can critique. No one's going to get 50 lashes with a wet noodle if they skip a word or they slur, or if I don't forget to say the end at the end, or none of us do, because this is all new to us. But do you feel at home on this site?
Oh,
Is,
absolutely. I feel very welcome.
Well, that's what we want you to feel. I mean, I feel very foolish being on here sideways and upside down and all, but I'm just so happy to be with y'all and just keep coming back. And also, I would like to ask each of you to call me and tell me ways that we can make this more enjoyable for you. What services can we offer you? We are going to have a program later in the year on the benefits of being a member. But of course, all of you tonight will send me your poems uh, to my email. I'm going to give you my home email. And I don't mind if this goes out on YouTube. Get your pencils ready, and Eva, I can give this to you later. It's Joycine, Joycines, Joycines at gmail.com. Joycines at gmail.com. And Joy Scenes is also my Facebook account that has not been brought up to date since 2014. I don't think I've got to bring it up to date. But you can send me your poems and then I'll forward them to our editor. Oh, thank you, Eva, for posting that like you did. That's on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, do you see that on chat, everybody, that she just posted? Okay. Yeah, we can do that at the end and everyone can take time to write down everything. So, Carol, after you is going to come Jennifer again. Are you ready, Jennifer? Jennifer?
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm here.
And where do you live?
I still have, huh?
Where do you
I'm
live?
sorry, what'd you say?
You live north of Atlanta, right?
No, I live in Brunswick, Georgia. That's closer to Florida.
Brunswick.
I'm
Oh,
closer to Jacksonville.
who just said that they? Amita Lou, did you say you were from outside of Atlanta? That must be you earlier in the evening.
I'm from I'm still in the jurisdiction of Atlanta, but I'm just south of Decatur,
Okay.
under Agnes Scott College.
And I'm in Macon, which is the heart. Okay, Jennifer, we're ready for you, sweetheart. I shouldn't.
Okay. Okay, this one is called Family Reunion, just to change up the mood a little bit. Okay, it starts. Good. So good. Crab ball, red potatoes, jumbo shrimp, corn on the cob, savory sausages. I told you guys I'm hungry. Chicken on the grill, children eating hot dogs, mustard stains on their clothes and grins on their faces. Marsh side, water everywhere, water here and there. Family reunions. Cousin Johnny on the dance floor doing the wobble or the Cupid shuffle. Cousin Jimmy throwing down with the dominoes and Auntie Sue sipping wine in the corner, right on time, music on the speaker. Frankie Beverly singing Before I Let Go. From here or there, we remind ourselves that we belong to a tribe called family. Love in the air, love everywhere. Love in the air, love everywhere.
Yeah.
The end.
Now, do I hear stomach strong? Sounds beautiful, descriptive. You talk about descriptive. Oh my word, you hit it on the food, on the actions. We could see him playing with the dominoes. How many remember their family reunions being something like that? I certainly do. Any comments, anybody?
Yeah.
So some parts were good. Not necessarily every relative there. You learn to move your plate around somewhere else.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All righty, let's see. Whose turn is it now? Let's see. Eva, it's your turn. Eve.
Okay, I'll just do a short one. And this is one that is in the it is one I have published. Okay. It stands poised like waves stacked up to blue sky, waiting for me to finally remember just how high your love is always willing to take me. My mind turns and I am washed away. Tsunami.
Wow. Tsunami. That was short but right to the point. Any comments?
Short but powerful. Tsunami, short and powerful.
Yes. Okay, let's see. I've got a funny one here. I may have read it before, but I'll read it again. It's called Running Around Doesn't Mean Jogging. So you can see where I'm going with that, right? Running around doesn't mean jogging. Glad I said it because I could finally say goodbye. Hearing the words needed to say was painful, can't deny. I loved him once so very much. He meant the world to me. I know one day he'll soon become a shadowed memory. At first, I was so confident that he belonged to me. I was seeing an illusion, what I wanted to see. Looking into his eyes, I saw how great our lives could be. But in his eyes, what didn't see were others, not just me. The end. So I like my title, Running Around Doesn't Mean Jogging.
That was very good.
Thank you.
Also very to the point. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. We've covered a lot of different territories tonight, haven't we, y'all? Okay. Anyone need to take a 5 or 10 minute break? He'll pause us and then we can come back. Do you need to go put the baby down? Does somebody need to go get iced tea? Or do you want to keep going?
I
Oh,
actually have to go. I am also a mom, and I have a son who's a year and a half, so it's probably bedtime. Well, to start the bedtime routine.
yeah.
I'm
Thank
probably
you so much. It was amazing to just get to know you all, listen to your poetry, and I am going to email, um, and keep track, and hopefully see you all again.
Can you put your number on what did you put it on? Eve chat? Do you know how to put that on chat like Eve did?
Oh, yes, I can put my email.
Okay, and your telephone number.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining our society. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to hear you read and bring on some more young friends. If you have other young friends that are poets, tell them we're friendly and to come join us.
I will. I will, absolutely. All right, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see, we are back to, I lost my little slip of paper. Who are we back up to? Carol, is it you?
oh, I don't know.
I think you followed. I think so. And then Jennifer, and then Eva, and then me again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll probably have to duck out myself in a few minutes, but it'll take me just a second to find one more to read. And I know we don't, some of mine are longer because they're narratives, but I have some that are not really, really long. And my book is actually,
Hold it up again.
it's titled Facing Toward the East, but it's called Poems of Redemption. And so I'll just read this one. It's not terribly long. Well, it might be too long. I don't know, but we'll see. You can tell me to stop. It's called
Well, I see which one do you have that? Well, there's only 3 of us left. We're supposed to end at 9. Do y'all have time to stay on and hear her long one and give yours one more before we go? Can everyone stay on? Jennifer, can you stay on till 9?
I can stay.
Okay, Jennifer, can you stay?
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
I'll
Carol.
probably have to duck out, but this one's called A Message in a Garden.
Okay.
Papa raised dahlias, not just any dahlias. His flowers were the size of bright red dinner plates and amber orange saucers floating atop tall leafy plants, or so the little girl remembers. Dazzling garnet blooms by the back door and more in the yard, pink and lavender ones by the front porch, rising near the daylilies and the English dogwood. Lemon yellow blooms at the edge of the vegetable garden, smiling at their sister sunflowers and welcoming the friendly twirls of sky blue morning glories on thin vines, climbing upward as if to get a better look, as if their day-morn trumpets hope to reach the top, to revel among the vibrant colors and touch the flowers' faces before the glories had to close and fall asleep. He fell ill in May, and by late August, he was gone. It was as if his dahlias understood and bowed their heads in grief. The little girl did not understand where her grandfather had gone. She did not know the new word spoken by the minister, resurrection. She helped her grandmother work in his garden. This dahlia is dead. Her grandmother pulled it from the ground and tossed it with fury to the wild brush at the edge of the woods. They plucked away any plants bearing sorrowful flowers, snatched them from the soil with bitter grief for the one they had given back to the earth. 3 days passed, and when they returned to their work, something bright and beautiful caught their eyes, a radiant, glorious dahlia, the color of a summer sun, blooming with unbridled joy, facing the sky, its wilted stem lying uprooted, cast away in thick weeds. Oh, look, we thought it was dead, but now it's blooming. And in that moment, the little girl understood the word resurrection. The end.
I enjoyed that very much. I like the dahlias as large as dinner plates, and that you mentioned that that they bowed their head when your grandfather died as if in grief, and the little girl didn't understand the resurrection until she saw that uprooted root blossom. That is a very nice description. Uh, I like that. I like that really very, very much, Eva. I mean, you mean Carol. I really, really like that. Could see, I could see the same flowers in my grandmother's garden. They're tall and they're not arrogant, they're elegant. And then to see them bow their head in like grief at his passing, that was very well written. I enjoyed that. Thank you so much for that. And it wasn't too long.
Thank you. That was my grandfather. And I was the little girl.
And now you understand the resurrection. So that's
Yes.
beautiful. And I'm glad
I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
yeah. I think the losing of our grandparents don't prepare us for the losing of a parent, but it is so profound in our lives when we're young. I think we all can agree. Very well done, Carol. Thank you for coming back. Jennifer, are you ready again? And this will be our last go around.
Okay. This is like I wrote this around Thanksgiving. It's called the Be Thankful poem. Thanksgiving evening, I want to know, when your stomach is full and your soul is at ease, isn't now the right time to breathe? Breathe in and exhale the loss. Breathe in and exhale the pain. Breathe in joy and exhale the sorrow of yesterday. It's time to set a new path, forge a new way, see a new light for a brighter day. Make new plans, rejoice in the life flowing through your veins. For favor is for the one who looks ahead and who's not afraid to take a new lane. So enjoy this day, the turkey and the sweet potato pie, the football and the family games. But tomorrow is ours to begin again once we breathe. When I wrote that, I was thinking of a friend who had just lost her husband, and I knew it was her first Thanksgiving without him. So,
I like where you wrote favorites for the one who looks ahead. That is so hard for your friend to have done at that time, to look ahead when she's
yeah.
feeling in the present and remembering the past and all of its
Mhm.
memories. You worded that beautifully, and it was very enjoyable. Did your friend ever hear
Thank you.
you read that?
I'm sorry, what?
Did your friend ever hear you read that and to know you were thinking of
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah, she knew it was for her. We
uh,
talked. Yeah.
beautiful,
Hmm.
beautiful. Eve, are you ready to read your last one for the evening?
I don't have another one to read. It would take me too long to find one. Sorry.
Well, dear friend, it's so good to see you again since we first met, and I hope you'll come on every third Thursday. The last one I'm going to read is They Cry at Dog Food Commercials. It's silly. Yes, girls cry at dog commercials cause emotional mess. Can't admit reasons they're crying, nor confess due to stress. Cry due to stagnant marriages, overbearing careers, cause divorce, newly widowed, or can't manage daily fears. Stay at home moms quick to cry because last child is gone. Lackluster lifestyle, or because lost their last marathon. Some cry suffering from wounds of diminished abuse, angrily ridiculed, censored, confidence been reduced. At commercials crying, way some emotionally unwind, drowning issues in commercials takes problems off their minds. So I give you commission to cry at dog commercials, okay?
Oh,
Ladies, go ahead.
I was going to say, how many times have I cried at dog commercials?
Listen, some of us just lost a pet, and that one looks like yours. Here, bring the hankies on. I
Mhm.
enjoyed being here sideways with y'all tonight. Thank you for putting up with me. I am so glad to see all of you ladies here again. And now remember, I would like for you to send your poems to me so we can gather them for our anthology. We will keep you posted on future events that are coming up. We have yet to have our January quarterly meeting because of illness and doctor's appointments. Our monthly meeting may be in February, but do me a favor, think of friends, English teachers in your area, anyone who writes, and invite them to just come in and join us and listen to how down to earth we all are. We're not a snooty, highfalutin group. You don't have to have a dictionary to figure out every other word we're saying, but you can smell the food, you can smell the roses, you can feel the tears and the things we read. It's just our down to earth way of coping daily, and I love that you've joined me tonight on open mic. You can go. I don't have the February date, but it is the 3rd February in January. And anyone else have anything they would like to say before we say goodnight? Because this is the Georgia Poetry Society's open mic night. Any good night words any of y'all would like to say?
I
I
would
just want to say I just really enjoyed this, and it was nice hearing everyone's poem.
Thank you,
And Ava,
Jen.
you have the sweetest baby. I mean, she's adorable.
thank
Yes, we
you.
have it. That was new to me. I didn't see that coming. When was she born?
She was born in October.
October. Oh, well, you two keep coming back, the two of you, okay?
We
And how
will.
about you, Carol? You're going to be joining us again, I hope, every month.
I will do my best. Yeah, we normally that particular night, I think I was a guest speaker at John C. Campbell, so I couldn't very well miss it.
No, you couldn't. Well, I think well, as you know, my computer's on the blink. So uh, I wish I could get it settled for our quarterly meeting, but thank you for putting up with me. And Jennifer, it's always good to see you. Carol, good to have you back. And Eva, my friend, good to see you. And this is Barbara Barry, president of the Georgia Poetry Society, signing out for our January the 23rd, 2025 open mic. Good night, ladies, and I will see you next month upright, I hope. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.